Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities and veterans who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities and veterans. And we are your USA team. And today I have joining us my co-host, Michael Martin Hummel. Michael is a writer, speaker, and podcaster who works to bridge the gap between disabled and able-bodied people. And as always, I am so happy to have you here. How are you, Michael?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And give us some updates here. I know you've got an event coming up again soon. Want to give us some details?
Yes, I do. On the 26th of this month, I'm going to have my next event. I have one every month where I have people with disabilities, their families, or people within the community speak on a theme that I come up with based on what people want and people get the ideas that people give me. And that is going to be on the 26th of this month at noon on Pacific time.
Excellent. So noon Pacific time on September 26th. And where will they go to find out some details or how can they reach out?
It's going to be, well, my email is Michael Hummel at wheelsandwarriors.com, and it's the letter N, not the word. And that's Michael Hummel at wheelsandwarriors.com, and they're going to stream it live on Facebook, so you can actually see it live on Facebook if you don't want to be in the room.
Excellent. Oh, it'll be a great event coming up in just a couple of weeks here. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to hearing more. And tonight we have an amazing guest joining us. I am so pleased to be able to introduce to everybody Dennis Schroader. Dennis Schroader Sr. He is the founder of the Price of Freedom Foundation that was created in April of 2019. The nonprofit organization serves Gold Star and military survivor families, friends, and colleagues of those who died in military service to our nation by conducting in-depth research into the life of their fallen loved one, writing and publishing full biographies, creating documentary videos, and sharing those stories to as wide an audience as possible. I have so many good things to say about what you are all doing, Dennis. I'm so glad you're here. And if you can go ahead and come on in and share a bit more about your background and how you ended up here.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so very much, Sue. I am honored to be here. Again, my name is Dennis Schroader, Senior. I have a son, Junior, and a grandson, the third. But yeah, I'm the original, I guess. I was born into a Navy family in 1956, and followed my father's around during his Navy career until I entered high school in 1970. I was in I really had a desire to join the Navy. I wanted to be Blue Water Navy like my father was. And uh, there was an organization called the Sea Cadets that was there in Tacoma, Washington, that was kind of like a junior ROTC program. And it was kind of geared towards helping kids like me get a kind of a head start into their Navy career. But I also was getting very good grades in high school. And my father suggested that if I was to join the military, I should go in as an officer rather than enlisted as he had. He said, you'll have a much better life. And so I followed his advice and I applied for Navy ROTC scholarship, and I also applied for the other services as well. I was very pleased that the Navy came back with an offer of a 4-year ROTC scholarship, but at the same time crushed because they said, because you have defective color vision, you can be a Marine. And so that meant my dreams of being blue water Navy were, they were not to be. So after I got over being upset about that, when I was considering that the Army also offered me a 4-year scholarship, that I probably would have better options than going with the much larger force than simply the combat specific focus that the Marines had. And so I went with the Army. I became a Medical Service Corps officer in the Army, served from 1978 to 2000, and retired at that time, and lived in the Pacific Northwest. 11 years later, I was asked to return to active duty, and I did. I said I'd be happy to serve again, and served 2 years at Fort Knox, Kentucky, a couple hours north of where I currently live. And it was during that time that I really started thinking about this whole process of my life and about my fellow soldiers, and especially those who had paid the ultimate price, made the ultimate sacrifice, and how over that course of time, our nation as a whole treated them better. But I still saw that there was only maybe a handful that really got a complete story told. During Memorial Day, we honor those who made the sacrifice, and almost all that you're going to see are going to be synopsis of their military service, and probably a little bit more about how they lost their lives. But I knew through my own experience that they are, and we are, so much more than just that. And so that was what really motivated me to start the nonprofit, because I wanted to do something for those families and for that memory, honoring that sacrifice that person and that family continues to make to this very day, by telling the complete story. But you can't tell the complete story by talking to one person, because that one person who knew that story is no longer with us. You have to find it, and what we do is we find every person we possibly can that knew them throughout the course of their life, from childhood through schools, through their time in the service, and things that they were interested in outside the service. Do in-depth interviews with them, ask them for anything that they've got, or copies of anything that they've got that helps tell that person's story. Pull all this stuff together, and God bless them. We've got a writer that's willing to sit down and go sort all through this and tell that story with a common voice from beginning to end, truthfully and honorably. And that's really what we're about. It's called the Price of Freedom Foundation. Our website is www.priceoffreedomfoundation.org. And we are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. And we published one book called Silent Soul. But you'd probably find it better by searching for Price of Freedom Chronicles, because when we published that first book, I wanted the title to imply that there's going to be more, and that is our vision, that there will be many, 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 many more to come. So kind of got lost in where your question was.
That is absolutely perfect. I mean, when I think about what our purpose here with the Disability Channel, and this is the TDC Today Show communities, and how you truly bring a community together to celebrate and tell the story of an individual. I absolutely love what you are doing. So I'm going to pass it over to Michael. Go ahead.
I just have one question. I was curious, what got you interested in the different mediums that you use to tell your stories?
Well, I guess what I wanted to do is, number one, to tell us to bring the story together and to put it into a format that was going to be able to be passed down to future generations. And I know we're in a digital age, in a digital world, but print on paper has lasted for hundreds, in some cases, thousands of years. So that's tried and true. We also produced this story electronically, and we're about to produce it on audiobook as well. We definitely, it's a different process to tell the story via video documentary, and we definitely intended to when we have the resources to do so. But with this first story complete, we have more than 44 hours worth of video content alone, much less the pictures and other, copies of military records, etc. And that's a daunting task. And I'm not a filmmaker, and it's like I have a great appreciation for why successful filmmakers get paid as much as they do, because it's a tough job to do it and to do it well. But so we chose the book so that it would last. And we chose the other formats because we want to make it accessible to the wider public. One of the things that the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences has been doing an ongoing study on military survivor grief, and I was blessed to be part of an audio conference where they were a featured speaker, and they were talking about some of the results that they had been coming up with. And one of the things that they talked about is that almost universally, within a year or two of a service member passing away, the family has the sense that they've been forgotten and that their sacrifice no longer honored. And that is true of most of the folks, and it's true of those that have had bridges and roads and buildings named after them. And you would think that, well, maybe that's not why is that? Well, it's because you see a name and that's all you know about that name. And it's like, I was talking before I really got started doing this. I was talking with a Gold Star mother who was talking about how her son was so much more than just what this little bit about his Navy service was, and how she would love the idea of being able to have it all together, maybe even using it as a way to pass a story on, so that, let's face it, sometimes when somebody is talking, listen, I'm passionate about something, maybe they don't want to listen to me because they've heard it a dozen times, or, well, she's got something now she can hand them, and it's like, she doesn't have to retell the story because it's told.
And the value that puts on that story too, to have it in print, to have the documentary, and that is priceless. Absolutely love it.
Absolutely. And I think too that maybe if we get to that point, that by having these in documentary form, more people will get a truer sense of what it means to truly serve, because we are, with fewer and fewer people actually in service, what are we left with? We are left with what we see on TV and movies and things on online, etc. And most of those are not documentaries. Most of those are fictionalized to tell a story, to entertain, to etc. And I'm not degrading those in any way, but it doesn't present the truth of what my life was when I was serving. It doesn't present the truth of what Alfonso Abdel Amos's life was, the man whose story we completed telling in book form. And I think it can counterbalance, perhaps, and give people a better image of those that served.
Excellent. One with what we do as ambassadors with Project Die Hard, I have a real, I think a different appreciation perhaps with what you're all doing and how we do need to take that step of putting that value out there and helping our veterans in any way we can. And this is such a beautiful way to remember our military. And because I know with Project Die Hard, they that's how the locations are named. That's how the buildings are named. It's after somebody who has lost their life to suicide, somebody who's with the military background, and it's a way to make sure they're remembered, that their name will be known, and to be able to have
Absolutely.
that story to go with it. Oh my gosh, that's just a whole nother level.
And those veterans that you're talking to, I believe you probably can confirm this or not, but I think that there's a real value in them telling the story about their friend, their colleague who passed. There's something therapeutic because they lost something too. Even though they survived, they lost this person who they valued, and by telling the story honors that person, and I believe it can be therapeutic and healing for them as well in doing that. And that's with your work, and certainly with some of the work that we do when we are interviewing the veterans that knew the fallen. And I think there's a possibility we could do something specific for that, whether we have a family to honor or not, that we can have a platform for veterans to come on and pay tribute to their fallen comrades individually. I think that's a great idea that I had tumbling around my head a while ago, but I'm glad you brought that up because it refreshed that thought in my head.
Excellent. Oh,
Something else that I
absolutely.
need to do.
Adding to that to-do list. But
Right.
that's part of why we need that community around us to be able to help to make those things a reality, because it's too
Yeah.
important to let just sit idle. It needs to happen. And
Right.
that's, oh yeah, I hope people are listening to this and thinking about it in a way of, wow, what can I do to help make this happen? What can I do to connect the dots for the project that you're doing, and the Price of Freedom Foundation to take that time to look at it and participate in some way.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that we live in, I mean, some people that I know are just, so worried and upset about stuff going on in this world. And I'm excited about what technology allows us to do, because
Hmm.
I will tell you that it doesn't have to be location based.
Hmm.
Milwaukee's a great place. I've visited it a couple of times throughout my life. Uh, Tennessee is not that far away electronically. And the writer for our book was actually a he had served some time on active duty in the Air Force. He had been a criminal investigator for the Air Force, but when he started with us, he was a military spouse. His wife was a clinical psychologist of the Air Force in Okinawa. And so he was writing the book from Okinawa. My virtual assistant is in the Philippines. Uh, Most of my board members are scattered across the country. If you feel compelled to help us and be a part of this, you can, absolutely you can. And the distance doesn't make any difference anymore.
I love it. Oh, well, and I know I do have a couple more friends that are joining us here tonight. I want to have them come on in and join this conversation as well. We have another author in the house. We have Marianne of Waikiki here, and I always love hearing updates of what she's all got going on with the Acts of Kindness series. Marianne, how are you today?
Well, aloha and hola, everybody. I'm Marianne of Waikiki. I'm the author and Apple game developer of the Acts of Kindness series featuring 200 folk manus puppets. The books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and soundtrack by Lucy Lynch and The Perfect Wave. So the books are written for ocean cleanup of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch between Hawaii and California. That book is titled Underwater Acts of Kindness, featuring Noah, the hard of hearing whale, who is recruited by a street turtle called the General of the New Earth Army to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. After he is in a boating accident and loses his hearing, he meets Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, and is rehabilitated. And he learns the finger spelling ASL finger spelling alphabet. Now, the good news, Sue, is Trevor Gibbs from the ADA web designer to make sure your websites are ADA compliant has helped me uplift 4 videos onto YouTube. So we have a YouTube kids channel. It's called the Acts of Kindness series. And you can learn the 26 letters of the finger spelling alphabet with Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab, and Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken, and Eve the Finger Spelling Bumblebee, who is in the second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And while we're back to school season, and October was right around the corner too, and it's anti-bullying month. So last year, I received an award from the Awesome Grant Foundation of $1,000, and we gifted the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind a water unit value $150, as well as that book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And I created coloring books too with the ABC alphabets and sign language. And Leon McLaughlin was there present to gift it. We did a presentation, and through your husband, Kurt Roskoff, and podcast Emily and the engineer, we were able to record it. And we want to multiply the acts of kindness all through the school year. We also have our third book, Righteous Acts of Kindness, featuring Pono, the Hawaiian polo pony. And our fourth book is Cool Acts of Kindness, featuring our new character, Waterflow the whale, for the Love of Water theme. And it's dedicated to Leon McLaughlin with Clean Water Foundation. So we want to multiply these acts of kindness all throughout the school season. And we have an organization called DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org, where teachers can request products for their classroom and post it, and someone will come through and match it or give donations. And I had a special ed teacher request 50 of my first books, and she was funded in 2 weeks. So Amazon shipped out the books. They read it, and I went out to visit them and taught the ABC ASL finger spelling alphabet. But now we can do it all online. And we have Apple App Games as online courses with those characters to test your skills in sign language. So we got great products. We got books, coloring books, folk manis puppets where you can put your hands in them and you can sign and finger spell with them. And they're great characters with zany, fun names, and they're all to be of service. So again, the website is www.actsofkindnessseries.com. As you can see, Mr. Kurt Roskoff is showcasing Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. Now we want to highlight another sea turtle. His name is the General of the New Earth Army. We support veterans, and my co-writer Suzanne Sims' late husband was the Colonel James Shannon, who was influential in creating the movie Men Who Stare at Goats with George Clooney. So we talk about hearing loss. That's my background. And we have 500 million people worldwide with a hearing loss. We have millions of moms and dads coming home from being of service who can't hear their own children or grandchildren. So these are great educational tools, again, to be of service and to have some fun. And our tagline is "So go out and play." I have some new book trailers. So Sue allows the time here. This will really show that thought to action. And no one has done anything with sign language characters. And 3% of children's books have a character with a disability. So here we are, the world of ability. We're making that movement. We're so go out and play. And we got the theme too, Yes, I Can. And so we're looking forward to getting these books out. We want to give a big mahalo to Nonprofit TV and Anthony Sorelli, who is now showcasing the Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bully books into Denny's restaurants locations in Texas. Wow, that thought to action a decade ago, and now really seeing it. And we're also partnering with Mark on the Mark TV and getting him out to networks. So I can't thank you guys enough. Mahalo, mahalo, mahalo to everybody to believing in this project. And, you know, just wait to see all the eyes light up when we really get them out and introduce these characters and, you know, talk story with them. So thank you so much for having me here today. And back to you, Sue and Mr. Roskoff. And a big shout out to Jay Stoy and the Disability Channel.
And I see the general of the New Earth Army has joined us as well. So, Kurt, since we got you on the screen here, if you want to be given the honor of introducing our last guest that is joining us, and at the very end, I will play one of those book trailers before we sign off. But can you go ahead and bring Bob in?
Hello,
All
can
right.
you?
Hey, Bob, how you
Hello. Great. How are you guys doing?
doing? Good. Yeah, we met Bob Wade through another Bob's. This is Bobbing the Bobs here. Bob Holmes, the one-man volleyball team, will be with him this Saturday. So, but Bob Holmes told me one day, I think they've got a friend that you may want to talk to. You open it talking to my friend Bob Wade, and yeah, he got a three-way call going. And he brings us a program that Sue, you and I are involved with. We talked about nonprofit TV. Nonprofit TV is on board what Bob brings to us and On the Mark TV also. So we're basically recommending it to everyone. Get on board, saveclub.com/Kurt. There you go. I'm your ambassador for Save Club, but Bob's going to speak to it a little bit. And Sue, are you able to bring up Save Club/Kurt and show the audience what Bob's talking about? Bob, take it away. What is Save Club all about? Why does everybody want to get on it?
Well, I'm glad you guys invited me because I started a couple years ago. My passion is rescuing animals. So I wanted to, it started there. And then I have a real good friend. His name's Cub Lewis, who's actually was the bodyguard for Chuck Norris. And he's very active in supporting veterans. So I've been working with him a little bit, but I was in the process of starting a company called Happy Tales Fundraising. And what I set up was an e-commerce platform with a lot of different pet products. But getting into it, I realized that I was about $500,000 short on actually launching it. But I have like I say, I have a passion for helping different organizations. And I do have 4 dogs, 2 ponies, 8 cats, and a pet pig named Murphy. And then about 3-4 weeks ago, I was introduced to a company that I got extremely excited about, which was Save Club. And when they first started, it was a e-commerce shopping platform where a person could go in and buy stuff and get cash back and earn commissions on all the stuff that they're already buying. Since then, they have set up a one-of-a-kind, I've never seen this before, fundraising platform, which is absolutely incredible. It's free to sign up. They have 58,000 vendors with millions of products. Everything that you are buying now, you can buy from yourself. You can support nonprofits. There's cash back, cash savings, cash back to the nonprofits. They have complete marketing systems that they do absolutely everything for you, from emails to text messaging. They have a marketing team that is the best in the world. And they actually they're about, I think 2 or 3 days away from launching the nonprofit marketing system. So an incredible opportunity to support nonprofits. The easiest program I think I've ever seen, as far as, a lot of the nonprofits are really stressed out trying to raise money all the time. And this is a done for you system. It's, like I say, it's just incredible. That's the nonprofit side. They also have a business side to this, which I'm building kind of the business side and the nonprofit side. The commission structure that they have is phenomenal. And just a tip of the iceberg of what they actually have here. And they're doing a Zoom presentation Friday. If you want to post that, Sue, and invite some people to take a look at this company and check out their program to support nonprofits.
Excellent. Yeah, this is definitely something worth taking a moment and finding out more about. I will be sure to post the link to that Zoom in the description of this show as soon as we are all done here today. So, Kurt, anything you wanted to add?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do a lot of work here at the Disability Channel, being about, veterans and people with disabilities coming into the television space. We obviously celebrate all of our disability services and veteran services out there. So we're excited to have a company that's on such the cutting edge of how to interact with the marketplace and people and help people sort out, and in this world of do it yourself and using AI and all the stuff so that you can just kind of get what you want real time. And
I think we're taking turns with freezing up on our systems here. Oh my goodness. So, well, we are very grateful to have Bob joining us and being able to share about what Safe Club all is. Again, that was safeclub.com/Kurt. So go check that out. And yeah, our very own. So grateful to have that here. I do want to just give one more chance here to come on back to Dennis and find out if you have any final thoughts you want to share here with us. Again, so happy to have you joining us. This is the TDC Today Show Communities, and I really do appreciate the community that you're creating and celebrating, and I appreciate your time here with us. So I'm going to pass it back to you for just a moment here.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for having me on your program. I'm truly appreciative of it. And just one final ask that folks check us out on any of the platforms. And if you know a family that could use our services, please introduce them to us. If you like what we're doing, you think it's worth supporting, support us in whatever way you can. Volunteers are super valuable, but we also need corporate sponsors, individual donors, and actually, I'd like to start getting community-based advocates, so you can be our champion in your community, your county, your state. So any of those would be great.
Excellent. And your website one more time?
My website is www.priceoffreedomfoundation.org.
Excellent. Priceoffreedomfoundation.org. Go check them out and give all the support you can, because it's so worthwhile to be able to celebrate our heroes. So Dennis, thank you so much for being here tonight. Michael, Marianne, as always, so glad you're here. Bob, I appreciate you joining us and the very first time being here. I love it. And as we as we close up for the evening here, I am going to go ahead and play one more of the videos here from the promo that Marianne has. And as I'm heading over there, I'm seeing some of the characters being highlighted there with Kurt. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to bring this on up so we can see with anti-bullying month coming up. I thought Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully would be a good one for today.
Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. Harry, the hard of hearing. Rabbit attends a special school in Hawaii where he makes new friends and learns sign language and finger spelling. One day, on his way home, two bullies tease and frighten him. In a panic, Harry dashes to the ocean and jumps in. He is rescued by a kind turtle named Tico and safely delivered to Rabbit Island. Harry must summon all of his courage to find his way back. With the help of others who are also stranded, he builds a magical boat and his team undertakes a heroic voyage home. Together they face the bullies and arrive just in time for spectacular rainbow birthday party. Created by Marianne of Waikiki, just for you. Do you have a brave heart? You can learn the fingerspelling ASL alphabet, Visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel. Meet Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken and Eve, the fingerspelling Bumblebee. Get your copy of the coloring book today. Play the game app and pledge to spread kindness everywhere. And rock your style with our exclusive Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bullying t-shirt. Get your copy of Rabbit Act of Kindness, No Bully today. Available on Amazon and actoffkindnessseries.com. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies of the books, coloring books, and Folkmanist puppets for every student via donorschoose.org.
So, once again, we are so appreciative of each and every one of you. This again is the TDC Today Show Communities. My name is Sue Roskoff, and